Tuesday, May 28th, 2:54 p.m. A little bit of a late start to the day. Whoop, whoop. Ooh, finally got my windshield wiper setting correct. Because albeit I didn't wake up super early. I woke up around, what was it, like around 10:30, I think that's what it was. Which I know to some people that work normal hours in their life, that probably sounds sacrilegious, ludicrous that I could be waking up at around 10 o'clock and still say, oh, that's somewhat early, but that is one of the... is qualms a bad thing to say? Like, if I were to say something that's good, like a benefit, like a positive, would I say qualms, or would I only say qualms when it comes to things like, when it lists off things that are negative? I'm also fueled off the energy of, what was it, 9 little pretzel... I never know what to call them, because like if I say pretzels, I think about, you know, like an actual baked pretzel, right? Not like the pretzels, the cracker, but I'm talking about the snack version of pretzels, not the actual baked version. Also, that car in front of me was in no way gonna hit me because I was really far away from it, but that guy definitely came out of an unassisted blind turn. What was that? I don't know if that even got caught up on the mic, but I heard some very peculiar noises to the right of me. I think it was the local, is that the middle school or the high schoolers? One reason I do hate going out at this time that I'm currently heading out right now at the moment is the idea, whoops, got my camera flopped over, and also the idea that this car behind me for some reason is trying to ram me. I always never liked those drivers that, like, for some reason get like their ego hurt for some reason, where like I come out with plenty of enough time. Or especially though, if they're going the speed limit or even just going above the speed limit, I have plenty of time, but I literally see them start speeding up to start riding right behind my bumper to like make like a point saying like, oh dude, that was my, you shouldn't have turned out right there, bro. But like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, some people seem to get so offended while driving, which I guess I shouldn't be talking, considering pretty sure every single one of these videos I've made has an instance where I go get offended by somebody else's driving. But you know what, maybe I'm part of the problem too. I get offended and I'm being hypocritical, and I have the gall to even say, oh, that guy shouldn't be so angry. But driving is, I've always talked about it, considering I am literally driving when I film, you know, the driving portion of the video, right? But what is that? You know that "Don't Tread on Me" flag that some people like flying, and it has like a little snake on it and says "Don't tread on me"? I saw what was supposed to be like kind of like a representation of that flag, but it had a goose on it, but I couldn't read what it said, and that's why I did a double take, thinking, what did it say on there? Like, I wonder if it still says "Don't tread on me" and people just replace it with a goose, because goose are kind of scary. I never believed the goose agenda when people kept saying that goose are really like territorial and aggressive, until I met my first territorial goose in college. At my college, we have this area where it's, I don't know if I should call it like a wildlife area, but it's kind of marshy, kind of like, you know, there's a lot of grass there, a little pond in the area too, and there's also like this big fountain that they kind of chill at also. But I remember somebody kept saying that the geese will hiss at you. And I had the first time ever where I had a goose hiss at me, and it's like, and I was like, ugh. I did the classic, ew, brother, ew. What is that? What is that, brother? I can't stop saying that. Like, I remember I saw this video a couple days ago where it's like, you know, like a little fun challenge video. People are just like, oh, the first person to say a brain rot internet phase has to pay the bill for dinner. And then here I am, unable to stop saying, ew, brother, ew, because it's just become such a normal part of my vocabulary now. Because instead of just me saying, oh, that's gross, oh, that's disgusting, oh, just simply saying, ew, my brain demands to get dopamine now by saying, ew, brother, ew. But back to the goose real quick. And there's also this one area that I kind of live near, but the thing is, there's like a boba shop that I really like over there. There's also a Chick-fil-A over there, back when I used to really enjoy Chick-fil-A. And so it's not like I'm saying I don't enjoy Chick-fil-A anymore, but I remember a couple days ago, actually 1 week ago, last Wednesday, I really wanted to try their new flavor of frosted lemonade, because I'm already a big fan of Chick-fil-A's frosted lemonade, because it's just a lemonade slushy, which it's a lemonade smoothie, which I don't dare figure out how much sugar is in that, but I am an enjoyer of lemonade and I'm an enjoyer of smoothies. And you combine the both of them, and I had a sweet little treat that I always enjoyed getting when I was at that establishment. But they had this thing called like the Cherry Berry Sunjoy, whatever it's called. And I got the frosted lemonade version of it. And I don't know if this is me becoming just stingy as I grow up, but that one drink was $7. My total came out to be like $6.87. And I remember like, am I out of touch? Is this the new reality? Was it always this price? I don't know, because I swear to God, like those things only used to cost like $4 at the most. And now all of a sudden they look at me as my camera flops over thematically once again, and they tell me $6.87 for a little beverage, a little sweet treat. Is that going to be detrimental for me and my finances in the long run? Probably not. But at the same time, I don't know, even just like that, I just felt so like robbed in a way. And maybe this is coming from like the controversy with Escape from Tarkov and how they made the Unheard edition, where it was $250 for a beta, a game that's been beta for like 8 to 9 years now. And even then, was I one of the people that bought EOD? And I never regretted it. I will say that I never regretted buying EOD, because I always thought like I have gotten a lot of joy and a lot of hours in this game. And it was also with the idea that if I pay that extra amount of money, I will be getting promise of extra content of whatever comes out in the future, because I, in a way, kind of invested, right? I became like a backer. And then to find out that none of that actually even really mattered, and then they try to gaslight us into saying, no. That was really the argument. It's like, well, if you said if you paid for this, we will get this. So why aren't you even doing it? They're like, no, pay $250 for the new edition. And it's just like the thing is like where it's like I feel icky to start supporting something when I remember it used to be cheaper. And like, you know, people can argue about inflation, people can argue about the state of the economy, but what is the economic profit margin of charging $6.87 for a frosted lemonade? Or again, I could just be out of touch. I might just be set in my old ways where I go, I remember when this was cheaper a couple of years ago. For example, I had this, I want to say argument, I had this discussion with a friend the other day where I was talking about like, why is Taco Bell so expensive when Taco Bell used to be like the cheap fast food, at least for me growing up. Because the dollars were a taco, I mean the tacos... The tacos were $1, and I remember they had the value menu, which everything was like $1. And now the only thing that I'm pretty sure even costs $1 at Taco Bell now is like the cheese roll-up, which again, I don't really know if I'm willing to pay $1 for something. Here's my rule too, real quick, about like food that I can, like food that I eat out for, is if I can make it very easily at home, I'm not gonna pay extra to have it outside at a restaurant or even at a fast food place. For example, a cheese roll-up is a tortilla with cheese inside rolled up, where, you know, and you might say, oh, you can't really buy that for $1 because not only you can just buy one tortilla and one serving of cheese. And obviously if you buy, you know, a bag of cheese or a block of cheese if you're a grater, and also a bag of tortillas, it's definitely going to cost more than $1. So you could say, oh, I saved money in a way by just buying one. But it's also the idea that's like, it is raining real hard right now. Why? I swear that it always rains the hardest when I have to walk to the gym. Or like when I first got into the car, it wasn't raining that hard at all. It wasn't even raining actually. And now the moment where I'm getting closer to the gym and I actually have to make the journey to actually walk over to the gym now, I'm just gonna get pelted with rain and just be partially wet for the remainder of my workout now. I guess not remainder, the beginning parts. Ew. I just saw a Tesla that's wrapped in a rose gold. I never liked the color rose gold. Mainly for like, see, it feels like the actual like jewelry rose gold. Maybe I'd be a little bit more of a fan of it. And also, I'm not really into jewelry. I always thought it looked cool, but I always thought it was kind of uncomfortable to have stuff on my finger. So for example, I don't have a watch. As we slowly get a lower and lower angle as the camera slowly flops down once again. But rose gold, like color things like phone cases. I remember I had a rose gold phone case one time because I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it looks like. And I was not a big fan of it at all. I was anti-fan, to be honest. I was an enemy. I was an enemy of the state. Oh man, it is raining a lot. This is going to be a bit of a miserable walk just to the gym, it seems. Maybe I'll park a little bit closer, or maybe I'll park in the same parking spot I've been parking in for the past year, quite literally. It's crazy to think that I've had this gym membership for just over a year now. Wait, no, a little bit over a year, because I first got my gym membership in November, and I didn't really go that much during the first November phase. And again, I'll definitely say my gym membership, or should I say my gym memberships, have not been really that economical for me for this past 2024, considering I have not been that consistent with my gym going. But I am hoping to change that. I'm hoping to change that starting from yesterday, where I made the decision saying, you know what? Going to the gym isn't that difficult. Honestly, the hardest part about the gym is eating enough protein for the day. Some people might say, oh, that's super easy. But I'm also trying to eat in a way that's like beneficial to me and also doesn't make me feel like garbage. Like, again, you know, I always talk about, you know, I should be able to poop easily and comfortably. I don't want to ever eat things that makes the poop difficult. I'd be talking about poop a lot. Maybe I should stop. But yeah, to do a little summarization of things I mentioned over today, $6.87 frosted lemonade at Chick-fil-A, was not a fan. It did taste good though, I will say, it tasted good. And they had this weird technology that they have a cup in a cup, so your hands don't get cold and it doesn't build up the condensation. But a thing that kind of robbed me about the cup in a cup, it wasn't actually a cup in a cup, it was a cup with like another outer layer to it. But at the bottom, there's a bunch of hollow space about this big, which makes the cup look a lot taller, but it's actually not filled all the way up because the cup holder's this big and then the cup inside was this big. So I was missing out about 2 inches of whatever volumetric amount of liquid smoothie that is. Also talked about why goose are really mean, and they're pretty scary actually, especially when they start chasing after and they start. Are goose the ones that honk also? I never heard a goose honk, but I've heard a goose hiss. And also the idea that I wish to be more consistent with my gym going. Who be roaring their engines right now? Who be revving it up right now? But I approached my gymnasium, the old Move Fitness. Maybe I should have gone to LA today actually. And to my dismay, the gym looks very packed, but this is just off what I see from the parking lot. Yesterday the parking lot looked empty, but the gym was very busy. So who knows? Maybe the parking lot's packed today, but it's actually not busy at all. But today on the agenda, still going with my current split, or I guess not to say current, the split I've been doing of chest, side delt, back, rear delt, arms, and abs, into the old leg day where I prioritize calves, hamstrings, and quads. I did do 2 sets of hack squat yesterday, but it wasn't really to failure or anything. It was just kind of, I just did it because I thought it'd feel nice. I think I might do that again today actually. So we're gonna do that. So today for arms, triceps, biceps, maybe 1 or 2 forearm exercises, and then I'll call it a day on that. Woo! I didn't even do legs today, nor did I even do anything calf related other than my 30 minutes of cardio. Also, I did 30 minutes of cardio again today, where I've definitely noticed that the hardest part of cardio is the first 5 minutes, actually. The most difficult, strenuous part of any time I do my cardio seems to be the first 5 minutes, where every ounce of my body, every ounce of my living being is like, I don't want to do this. I want to go home. I want to go home and play Armored Core 6. I want to go home and play Hellblade, Senua's. Actually, I don't know about the Hellblade thing. I need to be in a very certain mindset to be able to play that game again, because I feel like if I have even like the most tiny, remote amount of any sort of like negative feelings and I start playing Hellblade, I'm probably going to freaking lose it. Don't know why I decided to say that, but another thing that I'm going to make a comment on right now is about 3 minutes ago, as I was getting into the car, I kind of had to spend like 2 minutes just kind of recovering for a little bit because my calves cramped getting into the car, which I'm either dehydrated or, well, actually, I guess it's like a multitude of things. Isn't there like a thing too, if you're like lacking potassium, you can also cramp, so that's why like people eat bananas while they work out or something. But whatever it is, I cramped my calves getting into the car, and I have to do this silly little pose again where I was sitting on my seat with both my legs sticking straight out of the car door like this, basically holding like what is that core workout called again, where you like, you know what I'm talking about, like where you're sitting on the ground and you stick your legs up and you also have your arms out like this and you just try to balance it, and it's like a core workout exercise thing. I was doing that minus the arms because, as I said, since my calves were cramping in like a bent and with my knee bent position, I decided to straighten them out, and it did work, but I did look very silly while doing it. And I was also thinking the entire time, what happened? Did I not drink enough water? I finished my entirety of my coconut water drink. So did I just require more water? Should I have drank more water at home? Should I have drank more water during the workout? Was I missing potassium? I don't know. But I cramped, but luckily I only cramped at the end of my workout. And today's workout, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, maybe even a 5 out of 10. Everything was going pretty well. And this is not mainly an issue on my end. It seemed to be an issue just in the gym in general, where the gym was extremely busy today, which I'm not going to blame the gym goers for that, because it's currently 4:51 p.m. at the moment, which I would consider to be around peak hours, especially at this gym. I do think it gets the busiest at 7, because that's the point where you kind of have to start almost in a way sharing machines. But even today, I didn't have to share, but it was starting to get to the point where I would have to wait my turn on certain machines or items because they would be in use, and the alternative that I would normally use would be taken as well. So, and also, what was it? The dual cable machine still seems to be broken, which is what I do a lot of my bicep and tricep exercise on. I like doing them on cables because they feel nice and they're easy to set up. But they were all taken today, so maybe I should have gone to LA. I know I keep saying that for the past like 3 months, going like, oh, I mean, not even 3 months, probably like 5 months now at this point. I'm like, gotta go to LA, gotta go to LA. Maybe I should have done that actually. I think for the next arm day, I'm gonna go to the old LA Fitness and see what they got cooking up over there. What they got over in those facilities that I could potentially use. But today, for now, I did 5 sets of triceps. I kind of lost count in my bicep exercises because I only got to record 1, because after that, it kind of got to the point where I probably could have filmed if I really wanted to, but with how many people were around me, I just didn't feel that comfortable, especially if like those people didn't feel comfortable if I were filming. So instead of just going through the entire hassle of asking everybody if it's cool if I film here for like the 9,000 people that were within a 360 degree around me, I decided to just not film it. But now it's at the cost of, I don't really remember what I did. So that's the one issue that I've noticed when I don't record my stuff, is that I kind of tend to forget, because you kind of get into the zone where you're kind of just going through the motions, and you're just like, all right, I'm going for the feeling, I'm going for the motion, and that's all I'm really looking for. Where once I get that feeling, I go, perfect, that's what I wanted. But in terms of the overall exercise today, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 5, but I think I'm gonna give it a 6. Why? Because this is a little bit of a skewed way to look at things, a very biased way to look at it, but that extra 1 point is simply just mustering the courage to even come in today. Where I really thought, you know, I was like, I legitimately had an excuse to not go to the gym because I was like, the reason I was even late today is because me old grandpops, my old grandpappy, was not feeling the greatest today. And this comes at the realization that the older people get, and the older, especially when your grandparents get, minor things that make them not feel so good could end up being something major, because that's what happened a long time ago, where like my grandpa's like, I'm dizzy, and then ended up being an ER visit afterwards. So today I decided to stay by his side and kind of monitor him in a way. I also want to make sure that he doesn't feel too like helicopter, or like every 2 minutes I'm like, you good, Gramps? You good? So I did that, and funny enough, as per usual for my very stubborn grandpa, after he said I don't feel that great, after he got plenty of calls from his friends asking to hang out, he decided to take the call to adventure, and he actually ventured out at around, 2:30? And that's when I was just like, you know what, it's 2:30, I might as well still try to go to the gym, because why not? Am I really gonna, that was a real bump right there. Whoa, we're getting some turbulence, guys. But yeah, because I woke up, again, not super early. I woke up early enough that I could have gone to the gym at around 11 or 12, but I didn't because I was doing that. But on the plus side, I got a lot of my work done earlier in the day because, obviously since I wasn't at the gym. So I can actually go home and do a little bit less work today and relax a little bit earlier today. But that also means at the cost of, I might be able to relax earlier, but that also means I haven't really eaten my next 2 meals. I'm still missing about 110 grams of protein for today because I only had about 50 in the morning. And my morning meal was a little bit late because after the news that my grandpa wasn't feeling that well, I kind of looked after him for like an hour, and then I did some work, and then I kind of forgot to eat, and then I ate at around like 1 o'clock. So I just finished my workout. I put yogurt back into the rotation instead of some overnight oats that I'd be eating in the morning. I've been doing chia seeds, 30 grams as per usual. Whatever fruit that I have, usually I was using frozen blueberries or frozen strawberries that I bought from Costco, but I have a lot of apples and I have a lot of peaches, so I've been doing that recently as in yesterday and today. So today I had apples, yesterday I had peaches. With about 220 grams of yogurt. And then what did I do to finish it all off? With the kind of the leftover yogurt that's like in the container that I use, I decided to pour a little bit more water, added a scoop of protein powder, whey protein isolate. Mix that all up so I can get all the remainder yogurt in there, and also mixes the protein powder so it kind of makes like a creamier consistency, if I want to call it that. Swish it all down and then drink plenty of water, and I call it that my first meal. Has a decent amount of fiber, decent amount of carbs. I also had a spoonful of honey. I bought this raw honey from Costco the other day, and by the other day I mean about a week ago actually, and I've been really enjoying it. I kind of forgot that like different sweeteners all have a different taste to it. Like, for example, there's an entire thing of what's the 0-calorie sweetener called, like stevia, and there's like a couple other, right? What's the other one that's like usually in all the diet soda products? Whatever that one is, they all have like a different texture and taste to them. Actually, maybe not texture, because in the end it's kind of all melted by the time I have it. But I've been really enjoying honey, and I've been really enjoying just having a spoonful of honey, if that makes sense too, because I definitely feel like with the consistency and how kind of less sweet it is, like the sweet density, if I ever want to call it that, it's a lot more pleasant than to just, have like a spoonful of sugar, which does not sound pleasant at all. But I've been having raw honey because apparently it might help with allergies. I say might because I saw some articles that say it could, but it also depends on how processed that honey is. And I'm probably not getting the most, straight from the source raw honey, but who knows? I like the taste of it. It's pretty affordable at Costco too, so that might be my go-to sweetener from now on. But I still have my tried and true, my old reliable agave syrup if I ever need it in a pinch though. And I'm thinking my meal, my post-workout meal, once I get home, is I'm going to be eating a banana. After that banana, I'm going to be taking a scoop of creatine, which accounts to be about 5 grams. And to wash down that creatine, I'm going to double scoop my protein powder. You heard it right here, folks. I'm doing 2 scoops for a total of 70 grams of whey protein isolate. mix that up with good old water, shake it all up, drink it, and that's gonna be my post-workout meal. And maybe some, snack kind of things along the way. I don't know if I'll have a protein powder or a protein bar, because I feel like having a protein shake with a protein bar kind of sounds like overkill. Are you gonna come in? You put your blinker on. Well, I guess they changed their mind. I'm gonna be not letting them in now. And then I think for dinner, I have these Trader Joe kalbi, if you guys know what that is. It's like these Korean short ribs, is that what they're called? LA kalbi, I think that's what they call it too. But it's like ribs, but they're not like on the bone. It's like the Korean cut way where it's like sliced through the bone, if that makes sense. So instead of having like a rib, it's like a small rib. I feel like people know what I mean when I say kalbi, but I'm probably gonna cook that up for my siblings, but also probably have 1 or 2 ribs right there. And I've been really enjoying the I call it the egg exodus, which I don't even really know what exodus means, but I really just wanted to call it that, where it's 4 whole eggs and half a carton of egg whites, which is around about 250 grams of egg whites with 4 eggs combined into it. And I either make that into scrambled eggs or an omelet, or I do the other one, which this one takes the longest, but I love the texture of it, where I make like little egg sheets by just pouring in a little bit at a time and kind of having like an egg crepe, if that makes sense. I will say, egg crepe, sensational texture. I love it. It tastes so good, and the texture really just sets it off, in my opinion. Only problem is it takes forever because, again, I have a lot of eggs to cook through, so I have to make what, like 12 sheets of egg crepes, if that's like a guess that I have right now, because I didn't count last time, but it got pretty thick, around like that thick, with each being an egg layer that I cooked separately. And I'm gonna make myself a little side salad. I bought some bagged arugula at Trader Joe's as well. This just sounds like a Trader Joe haul, which it's basically my entire fridge is just, and pantry is just Trader Joe's and Kirkland signature items. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say Kirkland signature items. Costco, stuff I bought from Costco plus Trader Joe's. There we go. Also, I bought these ready-to-eat, like reheatable birria and cheese pupusas from Costco, and they're actually pretty darn good. I was a little bit skeptical because, again, well, actually, first of all, I never actually had a genuine pupusa before. I don't even know what the actual correct pronunciation is. Could be pupusa, pupusas? I don't know. Pupusa, I don't know. But it's filled with beef and cheese, all encased in this container of masa. And it is quite delectable, actually. And it reminds me of another Korean food called hotteok, which I know pupusas are made with masa, or at least that's what I'm assuming, because I said it's gluten-free, so there's no wheat in it. And there's this thing called hotteok, which is like imagine the same thing as a pupusa, but it's usually filled with sweet ingredients instead of savory ingredients, though. And the most common Korean hotteok is usually made with honey, brown sugar, and I think it's chopped up walnuts inside. Some sort of nut is inside, that's all I remember. And then, I think a little bit of cinnamon too. And then you basically make it into a ball, and you basically deep fry, or you don't deep fry it, you pan fry it, but there's so much oil on the pan. It's shallow fry. That's the term I was looking for. Another real fun thing about making hotteok is, again, it's usually in a ball, and then you just smash it down. You literally just take out all your stress and anger out on that ball, just smash it down until it gets nice and thin, but not too thin, because you don't want the stuffing to like blow out, right? So you press it down enough to the point where it becomes about yay thick, and you just get this ooey gooey center with all the sugary goodness inside. And it's probably terrible for your health, considering it's really just a fried dough with a bunch of sugar inside, but it do taste mighty fine, though. I will agree with that. It do taste mighty fine. Maybe I'll have a pupusa as a treat too. But I did crave that I do know at least a little bit of pupusas where they come with like that, like cabbage, like pickled cabbage salad, should I even call it? The pickled cabbage vegetable mixture that's very sour and tart. That on top of it, because pupusas are pretty, I wouldn't call them heavy, but actually maybe I could call them heavy because they're usually filled with cheese. But cut through the grease a little bit. But maybe I'll have an egg crepe cake today, which sounds kind of gross when I say crepe cake, but egg crepes is what I'll coin them from now on. A little bit of Korean kalbi, a little arugula side salad, and I think that'll be a pretty good dinner. And then I'll be set with a little bit of fruit, a protein shake, maybe a protein bar if I'm still feeling up for it as my lunch. And now I gotta go home, shower, finish up a little bit more extra work, and start thinking about dinner as well. I like to keep my lunch very simple now because it lets me kind of spend not too much time in the kitchen, so I don't have to like do the dishes for like. Here's the problem: like if I were to do like kind of like an extravagant lunch, I have to kind of set aside like at minimum 30 minutes, and that's still like if I were to find something that cooks really easily and really quickly, and not have to do that many dishes afterwards. Because if I do something that takes a little bit of time, then I got. What is this? What is this? There is a mysterious car parked halfway onto the driveway. Let me see what this is going on about. BRB. Actually, no. Good day to you guys.